がみやさん、バーの人さん、玉木まちさん、黒板を引っかく爪リッキーさん、バーンさん、あとでココモチーさん、コーネットビーフさん、サツサターさんさん、何でも知ってるカイトさん、佐野12さん、ジュンソニキ、ちみつさん、エザーズさん、TKST さん、T4U が人生初のライブ参加の新入り SHIV、ありがとうございます。竹原さん、ミエアさん、クロカエルさん、ヨッキーさん、何でもって言ってる、カイトさん、アフギーさん、ガッチャン、ムチキさん、リッキーさん、ティアさん、フランシストニアさん、タッチ22さん、クロカエルさん、バイてるよでバイてない森さんさん、今後のイベントも頑張って。さて、お疲れ様かと思いきや、まだまだラーメンの周年サマーライブ、生誕配信に加え、ブルージャーにライブまで発表されて、今後のイベントもしや、別なんかも盛りだくさんっぽい。最後に言われた通り、夏に向けてお疲れ様にしてよかった。これからも最高。どうぞ、貯めとけ、貯めとけ。こっちはたまにでいいから。三井リムさん、2万円さん、おさんさん、3秒引きの警察さん、青野さん、おちりんさん、メンバーありがとうね。ルンカツさん、しのねおじさん、けんこさん、インガさん、少しありがとう。村住さん、ふうこ主任さん、大城しゅうさん、大城ね、オッケー。緑のいろはさん、君でいっぱい、山形出しかけ、若鳥の塩焼きさん、今そうだ、名前言っちゃった。ちょっと待ってね。さん、豊重さん、ボタンディンさん、エウレカ560さん、ありがとうな、写真。モカさん、ありがとう。飯テロだぞ、腹が減る、ほんとだよ、ダイエットしなきゃいけないのに。アズーレイス825さん、レージャイザモーミン3さん、ありがとうな。テツさん、あ、コーチさん、ありがとうな。ライブ最高でした。これからも沼ります。世界大会見ながらライブ見てた人だ。ゲンさんにエレーシありがとう。フルさん、おまじりコギッコさん、ゼイさん、初めての赤スパありがとう。仕事でリアタイしてができなかったライブをたった今視聴しました。ありがとうね。美味しいな。パンさん、ありがとう。ホロライブシティで浴衣姿の記事が見つけた。あ、ほんと？どこにいたんだろう。どっかにいたっぽい。まあでもね、いろんな、まあ私も見てほしいけど、他にもね、ホロライブのね、配信見てもらえたら嬉しい。ビッグオーの下、あ、そうなんだ、観覧車あたり。観覧車下なんだ。観覧車とか、ほぼほぼ乗らないな、私。台北は青敷さん、ありがとう。コブさん、サンマとしてます。デイトレーダーみたいなことしてね、高えもんだって。マリーザも高いとこ嫌いって書いてたよ。自己紹介とか。よいしょ。ということで、スーパーチャットありがとうございました。応援のスーパーチャット本当にたくさんあって、メッセージもちゃんとね、スパチャ内の文章読んでますんで、はい、ありがとうございます。また見返して、ちょっとね、参照にしたろうかなと思ってます。あとメンバーシップのギフトね、ありがとうね。いつもちょっとメンバーシップのね、ギフト名がね、保存されないというか、記録されてないからね、ちょっと名前読んであげられないのがちょっと申し訳ないんだけど、本当にありがとう。メンバーシップギフト、本 よな。年限もまたちょっとやっていこうかなと思ってるんで、よかったら入っておいてもらえたら嬉しいです。でちょっとねお知らせじゃないんだけど、明日ちょっと休みもらっていい？本当に部屋っていうか家が汚すぎる掃除したくてじゃあごめん、ここ1週間マジでもうライブしようっつうので、もうライブに頑張ろうっていうので、もうここ1週間もうマジライブのことしか考えてなくて、家の中が汚すぎる。何も手つけてなくてやばい。もうマジでやばい。何も掃除してなくて本当にやばい。家がやばいんですいません。明日ちょっと掃除させてください。家の中をちょっとお休みさせてください。ちょっとライブのなんだかんだでちょっとライブでねいっぱい体も動かし、ちょっとね足も爆発してますんで、ちょっと明日はゆっくりさせてください。お願いします。で10日がね、7月10日がごめんまだちょっと予定わからなくて、でただ7月11日はもうちょっとラーメンの日っていうことでなんかやると思いますので、ちょっとそこは楽しみにしてください。はい。で来週はなんだかんだでコラボが1個あるかなって感じ。またこれもちょっと決まったらというか詳細は来週お伝えしますので、はい、よろしくお願いしますということで、すいません、ちょっと7月9日日曜ですがちょっとお休みさせていただきます。本当にすいません。家の中片付けさせていただきます。本当に家が汚ねえんじゃマジでやべゴミ捨てなきゃと思ってはいということで改めて、ネポラボ T4U ご期生ライブツインクル 4U ありがとうございます。見ていただき、まだ配信アーカイブもね視聴チケットあればできますんで、8月7日までだったかな、ぜひしていただいて、ブルーレイの発売も決まっておりますので、よかったら詳細また待っていただければ嬉しいです。新曲もね3曲出てるんで、よかったら聴いてください。はい、ありがとう。じゃあみんなのおかげでね、でも本当にちょっと締めますけど、でも応援してくれてる人がいるからこそできるライブってできると思ってるから、またちょっと来年ね、来年はちょっと無理かもしれないけど、再来年もまたできたら嬉しいなということで、ライブできますようにみんなの応援待ってます。ありがとうございます。でみんなに応援してもらえるような活動を頑張ってしていきたいなと思ってますんで、改めましてよろしくお願いします。まだまだ押してください。楽しみにみんなが楽しめることやっていこうと思ってます。はい、ということで、じゃあみんなもね、今日明日ゆっくりしてください。はい、お疲れ。またありがとうね。アーカイブ見てね。ありがとう。じゃあね、おやすみ。 そもそも好きで、どれも結構好きなんだけど、結構新しめのやつでさ、この後に1曲出たか、リンガリンガに関してはなんかもう本当にあの日にぴったりだったな。七夕の日がさ晴れって意外と珍しいと思う。うん、そうだよね。多分みんなも違う曲想像。気のせいか。今オスの牛2匹。急遽今急に成長したように見えた。今日はまだ和牛を育ててないのにな。よいしょ。仕方なし。一回寝るか。 いよハニー。そんなダイリンのためにね用意したんだよ、この大豆ミート。ダイリンには大豆ミートをあげるわ。安いのにお肉の味がするって有名なのよ。やったー。でも私あんまり大豆ミート好きじゃないんだよ。お、寝てるー。はよー。やば、いっぱいになっちゃった。一回そっか、日付変わっちゃったから大量のミルクが積めない。積めないんじゃが痩せちゃうよ。うせえうさいー。よいしょ。
We are inside the submersible Titan, which is a carbon fiber and titanium sub that can go to the depths of the Titanic. Hi, my name is Stockton Rush. I'm the CEO and founder of OceanGate. Let's take a look at Titan. So we're coming into the sub. This is the only toilet available on a deep diving submersible. Best seat in the house. You can look out the viewport. We put a privacy screen in, turn up the music, and it's very popular. We have our control screen here, our sonar screen here, and we can put any image we want in the back. We've taken a completely new approach to the sub design, and it's all run with this game controller and these touch screens. So if you want to go forward, you press forward. If you want to go back, you go back. Turn left, turn right, go down, go up. And it's Bluetooth, so I can hand it to anybody. And it's meant for a 16-year-old to throw it around, and super durable. We keep a couple of spares on board just in case. This is the second year we've been out to the Titanic. We went out in 5 8-day missions. We did about 10 dives to the wreck site of the Titanic, and we did an extra dive on an undiscovered reef that we found. Completely privately funded operation, and we're funded by, we call mission specialists who help support the mission. So they take quite a bit of money to come and join us. Years ago, the Russians took tourists out to the Titanic, and it was just sort of a look and see thing. We really are focusing on the science around it. We want to document what the wreck is like now, and also try to predict what it'll be like in the future. It's continuing to decay, and it seems to be accelerating. It's being eaten by a bacteria, so it's literally being eaten by the ocean. It's not rusting away. So these things that are called rusticles are actually the byproduct of a bacteria that eats the iron. And as it does that, these decks are collapsing. The promenade deck continues to collapse forward. We saw some of the railing is starting to lose its structural strength, which is really a sad thing. That's when it's going to stop looking like the Titanic. The interest in the Titanic is the reason we go there, because people are willing to fund this kind of exploration and science, and that is a completely different research component that almost nowhere else in the deep ocean can get funding to go back every year for decades and see how coral reefs develop, and see how metals decay, and see how currents change. I mean, that just, you can't justify that. No government will pay for that. Nobody wants to go back to just some old reef. But people do want to go back to the Titanic. And that's why we go, is because people want to go.
yeah, another Tech Preacher podcast show. I'm your boy Eric from Easy Computer Solutions. We gonna have us some fun with this podcast as we celebrate and party in Android 13 on the LG V60. Look, I took some notes down and I got a lot of questions and some people asking a lot of things about what's going on with updates and stuff like that. And I want to voice my opinion about a few things here as we party about the new update of LG V60. All right, so let's get into it, right? I don't want to waste no time. First of all, I want to thank everybody for joining the podcast, right? If you listening to the audio version of this podcast, welcome. As you guys know that I'm a huge LG fan, right? Listen, first I want to get some of these things out the way, right? Listen, I don't work for LG, right? I'm just a fan of their product, right? I'm just a fan of the devices. And one of the reasons why I'm a fan of their devices is because they have been true and tested and it works great for me, right? And so I make plenty of videos about LG devices because it works for me. And I think a lot of people get confused on, listen, Eric, you got Galaxy phones, you got the Z Fold, you got iPhones, you got all these phones, and you revert to a company that closed their doors in their mobile department in 2021. And my response to a lot of people is that, listen, it works. It works great. And, you know, I don't see no reason why I need to just give up a product that works great. And I just don't understand that part, right? But I do hear a lot of people voice their opinions about, okay, Eric, you know, it's time for us to move on and stuff like that. You know what? You don't have to move on. You know, you can hold on to the device as long as you want. As long as you make phone calls, text messages, you could go online, you could watch YouTube videos, you could play games, you could do all kinds of things like that. I don't see no reason why you be forced to give up your beloved LG devices, right? Now, I know they got a lot of tech enthusiasts always look at, okay, so, you know, I mean, what's next for LG? What's next? I mean, they got Android 13. Well, here's the thing. Let's reminisce on the moment, right? Not everybody received Android 13 yet, right? We're not going to worry about tomorrow. Let's worry about today. And I think that's a lot of people just need to calm down because as soon as they got Android 13 on their devices, they all hit me up in my DMs, emailing me, okay, what's next? What's next? And I understand people excited, man. I really do. And it's okay to be excited. But what's next? Enjoy the tech that you have right now. And I think that's what we need to focus on right now, right? So smartphones are very expensive. Look like every year the prices is going up. But here's something you could do right now to save some money. Switch to Mint Mobile, who I'm partnered with today's video. Listen, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless service for as low as $15 a month. And you know what? You don't have to sacrifice Mint Mobile for LG devices for a very long time, even though their mobile department is closed, even though it's really no benefit for T-Mobile to keep dropping updates. It's really no benefit. Let's talk about the benefits, right? And this is one of the reasons why AT&T and Verizon and other companies really not pushing out updates right now for LG devices because it's no money for them. It's no money involved. This is not LG's fault. It's the carriers that say, hey, why would we push out updates to our servers when there's no money involved for us, right? So, you know, when you have greedy carriers that just looking for money, you know, you gonna have these issues. When would you get the update? I'm not sure, right? Let's talk about AT&T for a second because that is one of the hugest issues that I get a lot of communication from people. They're on AT&T. Some of them don't have active SIMs and some of them don't have this and some of them don't have that. Listen, even if you do have an active SIM and active service on AT&T, the likelihood of you getting this update, it's undetermined. It's undetermined. AT&T has been one of these companies that really don't support LG too much, really don't support the calls. They really don't support a lot of things dealing with LG. if you talk to if you call AT&T, they will try to revert you into a brand new phone. They try to get you to get into a new device. So, I mean, listen, it's no money involved for AT&T. So if you're on the AT&T network and you got your LG V60 or LG devices like, the Velvet and all of devices on AT&T, listen, man, I can't give you no type of estimate. I don't know when AT&T is going to drop this update. That's unfortunate. All right. And let's talk about Verizon. Verizon has been okay with updates on LG devices. And again, don't know when Verizon Wireless is going to drop the update for the LG V60. And listen, this is all unfortunate. And I'm gonna tell you why, right? It's because after LG mobile department is closed, they made their promise on their end. LG made their promise that they was going to support their devices for years, right? They was going to support the devices up to Android 13, plus you're going to get 2024 up to 2025 maybe security patches, right? Okay. They made that type of communication to, the fans and to, everybody else. But here's the problem, right? If you are on carriers, it's up to them to deploy the updates, and that's where the issues come in at. LG have done their part. They had, the V60, Android 13 was in beta when I made that video maybe about a month or two ago, probably not even that long. And the reason why, when I talked about the beta program, I said, well, LG V60 was in beta, Android 13 was in beta. That was the communication that I received from different groups and different avenues as far as, my Telegram groups and stuff like that, right? Okay. When Android 13 came out for the LG V60, I mean, listen, it is it's fun times, but like everybody was saying that, hey, listen, man, I didn't get the update. And I don't know how to even address that because I don't work for the carriers and I don't work for LG. And I don't know if LG is communicating with carriers inside the United States, outside of the United States. I don't know. So when will you get your update for your LG V60? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm getting flooded with emails and DMs about when it's going to happen with me. Like I work for LG, like I work for the carriers. I don't work for the carriers and I don't work for LG. I don't have no type of front-end information straight from LG. I have no clue on when you will receive your update. So I wish I had I wish I could give you guys a miracle on when you go get your updates. I just don't know. I wish there was a way that I could communicate with higher ups and let them to find out more information for you. But listen, if I find out any information, you guys know I will share it. So that's updates. So let's talk about some pros and cons, right? And let me go ahead and address the wideband L1 versus wideband L3. Now listen, a lot of people, it's split down the middle. I made a couple of videos about the wideband situation on the LG V60. Now the LG Velvet and the LG Wing and LG G8 and other LG devices has L1, wideband L1. But unfortunately, when I received Android 12, I lost the ability as far as wideband L1, it dropped down to wideband L3. And so we all thought that when the Android 13 release was supposed to fix that issue. And I made a comment and I talked about it in my videos saying that when, Android 13 come out, it will fix this wideband issue. But as I've been looking at Netflix and Hulu and all these other streaming services, even though it sees the LG V60 is the L3 wideband L3 device, the image quality absolutely is marvelous on it. I don't see any difference. Now, a lot of people hit me up in the DMs and say, hey, listen, I didn't see a difference, Eric. But some people hit me up and say they did see a difference. So, I mean, to each his own. And I know a lot of people that hit me up and say, hey, easy. I don't watch Hulu. I don't watch Netflix. I don't watch none of that stuff. I watch, YouTube, which on YouTube, you can go up to 1440p, 4K and all that stuff like that. And you go get a great image. The wideband situation is something that I wish that was solved with Android 13. I'm not the only one. It's split down the middle. I believe that we have a division on T-Mobile with LG devices, some have L1, some people have L3. I was one of the unfortunate ones that got dropped from L1 to L3. How is that possible that you could go from L1 to L3? I don't know. That's a little like a software glitch and stuff like that. And you know, when we going off of this one app, and listen, I understand even though we go off this one app, if you do go into your Netflix, it does say, 720p resolution because of the L3 support, right? So I don't know. And a lot of people say, listen, maybe it's time to, for LG to fix that or whatever, this, that, and the other. I don't know. Again, it's split down the middle between devices. Some devices have L1, some devices have L3. So the question is, okay, Easy, what is this L1 and L3 wideband and all this stuff like that? Okay, so that's a security thing as far as watching, movies in high definition and 1080p stuff like that, right? So if you watch Netflix, right, if you want to watch it in HD, well not HD, but Ultra HD and all this stuff like that in 1080p, right? If you have wideband L1, you can watch everything in 1080p in higher resolution. If you have L3 or anything below L1, you get this. Unfortunate, the streaming services will look at your device as a 720p resolution type device, and it will show you content in that lower resolution. So that is the whole problem that people have, is that instead of watching it at 1080p, they're watching it at 720p. Some people say that they see a difference, some people saying that they don't. I don't see a difference, but I know it's each their own. Everybody's eyeballs is different. I guess that's why my eyes are going bad, because I don't see a difference. So that's the difference between L1 and L3. All right. So let's talk about some of the other things, right? Let's talk about the LG UI, because I think that a lot of people also had some issues about why there's no physical virtual eye changes. They don't see anything different. Listen, think about this. An iPhone been having the same UI since the beginning, and every time they come out with a new iOS version, you don't see no differences. But a lot of stuff happened underneath the hood. You do see some extra features that pops up, but it's not nothing groundbreaking. And I'm referencing iPhones because, every year a newer version of iOS come out, and if you turn on a phone, visually you don't see no changes from year to year to year. All you see is the gridded icons, and you press on it and open up apps. You don't see a difference. But a lot of things happen underneath the hood. And listen, LG UI hasn't been LG UI has been the same since the beginning, right? I mean, yes, they've tweaked it with the LG G5, and when they got into the LG G6, they made some changes and stuff like that. But the UI from Android 12 to Android 13 it looks the same, right? But a lot of things happening under the hood. You do see some fine tuning and stuff like that. But let's talk about this, right? When we talk about Android, right? And this is one of the reasons why you see a lot of companies really not making visual changes to the UI. It's because you can always go to the theme store. You could always go to the icon store, and drop, icon packs and theme out your device to make it as customizable as you like. Think about this. If you hold pressure on your home screen and you go to wallpapers and themes, you could go to icon and you can change the icons however you want to. You can go to the theme store, you can change the theme however you want to. So you can fully customize your LG devices from pillar to post. So I don't think that's an issue. If you got a problem with LG UI, you can always go to the App Store and download any of the hundreds of launches that's available in the App Store. I don't understand how that's an issue. I don't understand how that's an issue. If you want to change or customize your device, if you want to change icons, if you want to change the look and feel, if you want to change anything about your device, it's on the device. Go to your theme store, your icon store, and do it yourself, right? Or you can go to the App Store and download the plethora of launchers that's available, from Nova Launcher to the Pixel Launcher. And listen, I even have the Star Trek launcher on my device. You can do that. And it's anytime. I don't think there's an issue. So you know, I think a lot of people get these updates and they have an expectation that LG was going to completely overhaul the whole operating system. My answer to that question is, why would they do that? If it ain't broke, why would they change it? I don't see no issue with the UI, especially when you can change the icons, you can change the colors, you can change everything you want. Don't see the difference there, right? So, all right, and I understand how people always find ways to complain, right? People always find things to complain about. People always looking for something when you know in the back of your mind it wasn't going to happen in the first place. So I think a lot of people voicing their opinion about things that's happening, and I don't see why. But I do my best to answer a lot of people's questions and stuff like that when they hit me up in my DMs and stuff like that. It's been flooded. Thank y'all guys for a lot of support. I just want to say. All right. Now, one of the things that was brought to my attention was 8K time lapse. First of all, I didn't even know that it was 8K time lapse on the LGB60. Somebody hit me up and said, hey, it took away 8K time lapse, and now it's 4K time lapse. I didn't know that. And my response to that individual is that I don't have an 8K TV. I didn't even know that they had 8K time lapse. I never do time lapse. I am so sorry that you lost 8K time lapse and it went from 8K to 4K. I have my